What's going on? It's the BLONGshow, young humanitarian style. Getting ready to do one of my favorite pastimes, go out here and chop some wood. You know, that's how you get your workout in. You work all counterparts of the body when you're chopping that wood. But unfortunately, I'm here again to talk about domestic violence once more. You know, I want to get some education behind domestic violence so that maybe we can curb some of the domestic violence and maybe we can build on relationships. You know, recently, a dude that used to play football decided to go to his baby mama house, and that's such a poor term to me. Unfortunately, we have to use that term because that's what it becomes, but baby mama, that's just one of the dumbest terms to me. But getting back to it, dude went to his baby mama house and basically smashed her. And he put hands on her, something stupid. Threw her into the TV. I don't know if he punched her or smacked her, but whatever he did, it was with authority. And the whole time, his baby was sitting on the couch. Upon his exit, he looked back and told his baby he loved him. You know, there's so many things wrong with that whole scene. And I used to be confused by, you know, watching that type of thing, but now I understand it and I get it. And so I want to share some of the information that I have in order to maybe help some other people avoid putting themselves into that situation. So one of the things is, if we pay attention to his scenario, you don't put your hands on nobody in the manner that he did her. If you're doing that, you looking to get killed or you looking to kill somebody. Because I couldn't imagine somebody that I know getting tossed around like that, snatched up like that, and punched like that. And I just let it be. You know, so that's factor number one. Factor number two is, it's bully style. She had no chance to defend herself. She had no chance to fight back. Like, she couldn't do nothing. She couldn't have used no knife. She couldn't have used no gun. She couldn't have even been fighting no type of way. He already know he's stronger than her, so what's the point of swinging on her? She didn't swing on you, why swing on her? And I'm not talking about him in particular, I'm talking about every man out there that's with a woman, that get mad at a woman, or any of that. Why would you put hands on her like that, especially if she didn't touch you? I am one person that's, I am for, if you smack me, I'm gonna smack you back. But I'm not for just walking in and putting my hands on you. And I'm not for putting my hands on you in a violent manner or wild and furious if my plan is not to do complete damage. The other thing is, you shouldn't do anything without a plan. As a man, past 30 years old, everything should be planned. And if you get into a situation where you're not able to plan, you should try your best to back up and give yourself time to plan, or you should already know yourself enough to know how you would act in an emergency situation. So then we back up and we get back to this whole thing. One thing is, if a woman doesn't live with you, I don't care if you got 10 kids by her, you really don't have nothing to say about what she do. She don't live with you. Even if you pay her rent, she getting it on her own. Whatever she did to involve you in her life to pay her rent, don't matter. That's her money once you pay it. You don't own her, you don't control her, and you're not the leader of her household. She is. So get that factor correct. So if you come over there and she's sitting on the porch with another dude, kissing and holding hands and hugging, it's not your business. It's not your home. You shouldn't have came. You should have called first. If you call first and you get there and she tell you the door is open and you walk in, and when you walk in, her legs wide open and somebody right in the middle of them, you still have no right to do anything to her. Walk back out. She don't live with you. Don't care if you got a brand new kid, 2 days old. She don't live with you. And so now, so that you don't get it confused, I'm gonna tell you about if she do live with you and these things happen. You pull up to your home after being at work a long day and she hugging and kissing somebody on the porch. So at that point, now that's your home. So you have a right to, but you better use caution because you don't know who she with or what they capable of or what their plan is or who else might be in the house. But you have a right to tell that young man that that's your home, he's trespassing, and you'd appreciate it if he was to leave. Now it's up to him and his actions what happens after that. Just be prepared for whatever. And at that point, I know you steaming and fuming. But you should just leave. And if you don't have nobody, then go somewhere and go fishing. Or, you know, go out of town and just get you a hotel room. Call the person you work for and let them know the situation. And ask them, can you have a day or two off for emotional distress? If a child is involved, take your time at that point to think about what you're willing and prepared to do. Because it's going to be repercussions one way or the other. Whether you stay with her or leave, it's going to be repercussions. You're going to have some deep feelings going wild. So prepare yourself to take care of those feelings so you don't wind up in the situation where you're doing something to somebody that's not worth you doing it to them. Or you winding up in a bad situation where you can't do anything for your child. And then let's go to the other scenario where you've been at work all day and you come home and she posted up with her legs wide open with somebody in the middle of them. You do the same thing, man. Do the same thing. Hey, homeboy, this is my house. I don't know what she told you or what's going on, but I'm gonna go ahead in this room and I appreciate it if you be gone in the next 5 minutes. So me and her can talk about whatever we need to talk about, or you can take her with you. If she leave with him, good, you win. If she don't talk to her. Figure out in your head what your plan is next. And, you know, my suggestion would be to move on. She's not worth it. She's not worth your time. She's not worth your energy. And women, vice versa. It may seem like I'm talking to the men, but the reason is because it starts with the men. And the thing is, people, we have to start preparing our family and children for these type of situations. Because one of the biggest problems is people getting into relationships at too young of an age. People shouldn't even consider a relationship until they're the age of 25 years old. And then once you're 25, you start considering a relationship. And then you start figuring out, is this the person that I want to be with? Don't choose somebody because of just looks. Don't choose somebody because of money. Don't choose somebody because of stability. Choose somebody because they respect you. Because you don't want nobody that's like you. Y'all gonna have differences. But worry about who respects you. Because if they respect you, you can work anything out. If they respect you, don't walk away when times get hard or things get different. Because respect is the key to the whole situation. You know, we gotta even start teaching these young men be uncomfortable because of what they got going on in their life. They worried about the money they got because of the way people put this whole money thing together. And then women are embarrassed to be with certain men because of the status that he have in the financial realm. We gotta remove that stigma because that's hurting a whole lot of potential relationships because people think somebody don't have this or have that. You never have enough. You never have what this person got or that person got. But you got to be satisfied with what you got. Whether you're a millionaire, thousandaire, a hundredaire, a billionaire. You got to be comfortable with you. You got to be comfortable with what you're working with. The amount of money you got, the amount of things that you can afford to do, the type of things you like to do. Like me. I'm going out here and cutting wood. I'm going out here and work on the shed. I don't care what nobody think when I dress like this. I go anywhere like this. You know, but I'm gonna dress appropriate for the occasions or the places that I'm going and the things that I'm doing. And then if we go right back into the comfort of a man, they get uncomfortable with what they can do in the bed. We gotta remove that stigma from men. You know, you can have 6 inches, you can have 12 inches. None of that matters. You know, you need to have comfort inches. Just like every man not the same, every woman not the same. And if a woman is busted out, then that means you don't want her anyway. She been with somebody else that don't match you. And you probably should be disgusted by it. You shouldn't feel insecure, you should feel disgusted. You know, and it's not all about the physical, it's the mental as well. And that's why you tend to go nuts when you're too young and in a relationship. Because all these things that you don't understand clicking in your head and you thinking that they make sense, but they really don't. And then you wind up losing your temper and putting your hands on somebody. And then you're in jail and you don't know what you should do. And now you're trying to avoid being in there. And then nowadays, it's just so crazy the things that get done because if we go back to the dude, the football player, he jumped on the plane and where do you think you're going? There's nowhere you can run to these days. Not if you ain't running to another country. Not if you ain't an underground individual. You can't be a working person and think you can just take off running. And then the other crazy part about it, old girl posted stuff on the internet saying this, him, and what happened and everything. So it's like, everything's all bad. This computer is ridiculous. The last thing I want to talk about is, you know, the reason I say that you need to be a minimum of age 25 is because you need to get your feelings hurt a couple times so you can understand what that's all about. You need to feel like your heart broke and all that type of stuff so you can grow up. You know, before you turn 25, most likely none of that stuff really happened to a degree that really affected you. So if we can get to the point where we can start doing that type of stuff and we get to a point where we start to get beat up a little bit and then heal up, maybe we can stop some of this domestic violence. You know, most of the time things happen because people are ignorant to the fact of what actually is occurring and what actually is going to be the outcome when that occurrence happens. So let's be proactive and start teaching our children, our teenagers, and our young adults the difference between having your feelings hurt and being affected physically. You know, you need your feelings hurt sometime. And we got to stop putting our hands on people that didn't put their hands on us. We got to stop invading people's space. We got to stop invading people's households. It's wrong to go to somebody's house and do anything to them. I don't care who they is or what they told you. If they don't live with you, you have no business doing anything to them. If they do live with you, you have business leaving them or staying with them. But either way, you have no business to physically harm them. Especially a man to a woman, which is why the police are quick to lock the man up. Especially a woman to a man, because if you put your hands on somebody, expect to get hands put back on you. So let's teach our young people to keep their hands off each other. Men don't touch women, women don't touch men. I just told you the outcome from both. This is the BLONGshow. Let's avoid domestic violence. P.S. Imagine sitting in prison or in jail for domestic violence. Imagine being in domestic violence classes. Imagine spending money for domestic violence. Imagine looking at the person that you put your hands on, whether you scratch their neck up or their face, or whether you black their eye or their lip. Imagine these things before they happen. Imagine these things before you do them. Think ahead. That's the best way we can win.